Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
We have Muhammad Ahmed Chaudhry Saab here. Muhammad Ahmed Chaudhry Saab, he is the CEO of Silicon Valley Education Foundation for the past 7 years. MashaAllah, that sounds very impressive. But we lovingly call him Mac Bhai. And I'm going to ask you about the top 10 pearls of wisdom regarding education which our students and our parents should know. When I first heard you talk about that, I was simply very impressed, and we thought we'll share that with our audience today.
Great.
Jazakallah. So, number 10, you talk about college graduation, college grads and their unemployment rates.
Yeah, so it's really interesting because the unemployment rate right now is about 10%. So when you decouple that with college grads versus not college grads and just high school grads, you will see that 10% goes down to about 4% for those individuals who are unemployed that are college grads, and it goes up to about 16% for those individuals that are not college grads.
Amazing.
So kids who are college grads, or students who are individuals who are college grads,
95% to 96% of them have jobs.
Exactly.
Wow, mashallah. Number 9, something about the 9th grade courses in state university system.
When entering high school, it's very important for parents and students to be on the track for college. In order to be on that track for college, every state has courses required to go to college. They're defined by the state university system. Be sure you're on that track. At times, it's not the default curriculum at your high school, so make sure you're on the track with the courses to go to college. The AP track is even higher than that. Right?
This is not AP. This is state university system. Right?
Yes. Well, it's the course is required for that state university, but typically those courses are required for a lot of other universities as well.
Excellent factoid. Now going to number 8, Algebra 2 determines what?
It's really interesting that there was a study done to say kids who graduated from college in 5 years and what they did in high school, the highest correlation, there's no causation in education, but the highest correlation was actually taking Algebra 2. And it further went on to say the further you went from Algebra 2, your odds of graduating from college in 5 years exponentially increased.
Amazing.
And this study was a national study. It was done twice. And what it looked at was it also decoupled or checked for race and socioeconomics. So it trumped race for Hispanic and African American students, as well as socioeconomics of the parents. So it tested for a lot of factors, and this trumps all that.
So kids who are not good in algebra, they need to pay more attention. It's a strong predictor of success. Excellent. Number 7, math, science, and art.
So we always think about just be good at math and science, and you'll be great. But if you look at the creativity, the companies that are truly creative, and individuals who build creative things, it also has a large component of art. So while it's really important to be in the math and science courses, it's also important to have a well-rounded humanities career or coursework, which includes taking some arts courses or music courses, or understanding that other side of your brain as well.
So people like Mark Zuckerberg, Steve Jobs are very successful, are probably good at art as well as science.
Absolutely.
Very interesting. So going to number 6, middle school determines college, not high school?
So there's a great myth out there that we should start talking to our kids about college when they're in high school. But a big study called the Forgotten Middle really defined that, and it was the largest study ever done, which says that kids make decisions if they're going to go to college or not, actually in middle school, not high school.
Amazing.
Which is the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade.
Wow, that is amazing. Number 5, the number of books inside a home
determines how far that child is going to go in their education career. We've seen the numbers of books inside a home. So even when they're babies, having access to lots and lots of books, or a great now tablet device like an iPad that has lots of books, kids reading really helps them grow their comprehension, their understanding. It develops a lot of parts of the brain.
Fantastic. Number 4. 3rd grade reading proficiency.
So 3rd grade for reading is critically important. It's so important that the kids who don't do well in that, they actually determine the amount of jail cells they need.
Wow, based on that data.
Based on that data. They can predict a child's future that accurately, because they got to plan ahead. So but the important thing is making sure that your child or the child is proficient or advanced in reading in third grade at grade level, which means at least at grade level. It's critically important.
And that's how they determine the number of jail cells. Amazing.
Absolutely.
Number 3, brain develops by the age of 3.
The brain development research shows that you don't need to wait till kids go to school before they start learning. That brain, the synapses are connecting, and what the research shows is either they connect or they actually die. So really watching that, and really that brain development time is reading to them and really interacting with children and actually talking to them at their level is really important. Just exposing
for the first 3 years.
For the first 3 years, right when they're born, exposing them to as many words as possible should be your goal as a parent.
If they're playing with my iPhone, if they're on the computer, if they're just watching TV, does that count? Because many people use those devices as babysitters.
A little bit, but that they need to see your facial expression.
Excellent, excellent. Number 2, now we're getting to the top 2.
Yeah.
Preschool determines the amount of money you're going to make, whether you go to preschool or not?
There are so much strong research by RAND and other corporations which shows a couple of things. One thing it shows is that if you were to eliminate one class, and it would be either 12th grade or preschool, most researchers say eliminate 12th grade and add preschool. And that's how important it is to start early. Secondly, there's a research that shows kids who go to preschool, they earn more than $300,000 more than kids who don't go to preschool.
Unbelievable.
And so it's a financial matter, as well as it's a critical for making sure your child goes to preschool. And a full day, a preschool versus half day, you can figure out what works for you, but being exposed to preschool is really important.
Frankly speaking, I always used to tell my wife that don't worry about preschool of my child. I think I'll have a hard time showing her this video. Wow, this is great.
Your wife has been right on many other things, I'm sure.
That is absolutely true. So I'm used to that. Number 1, most of these factors, if combined, they trump everything else that we carry as dogma. So what would they trump? Race, socioeconomic status?
Yeah, so a lot of these research, they say, does it only work for rich kids? Does it only work for poor kids? Does it work for only Caucasian kids? What we've seen is, like the college study, it tests for race. So African American and Hispanic students in particular, but all races. Is there a special category there? Parent involvement is really important, but these studies, they trump the race card as well. So it works for all students.
Amazing. Mohammad Ahmed Chaudhry Saab, can't thank you enough. At least now we know very clearly why you run an educational foundation, why you're the CEO. MashaAllah, you've done a fantastic job. I'm sure the parents will appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum.